What is good, y'all? SCG Gaming. It's your boy GM Smooth back here with the Angels. As last time out, we were able to get into opening day. This time, gonna go ahead and speed through the season just a little bit. I told you guys we're gonna go through this first season relatively quickly, focusing mostly on scouting, the prospects that are already here, and building up to a season 2. So if you guys are ready for the episode, leave a like, comment, subscribe on you guys' way in, and let me know how you guys are feeling about the series as always. But you saw we were able to go and get a win in our first game out last time, and this time I wanted to focus first on our prospects here. Christian Moore, B potential, drafted first round 2024. He's got solid ratings all the way around. He's actually a pretty good defender for what second base can be, not having to throw the ball too far across the diamond for most of his routine plays. Has a good glove, good reaction time. And here we see that on display here early, as he's able to go to make the play with so much ease. But definitely somebody that I want to look at that could be potentially in our infield at the big league level as long as he develops correctly. That B potential. I am looking to see what the actual number is. Probably not going to, but I assume it'll be still a pretty good rating. It could be anywhere between 80 to 89. Well, I don't know if 90 is including that, but I will say 80 to 89. As I think he could definitely be someone that comes up and plays second base for us. We don't have anybody else there right now. And as far as I'm concerned, he's our only, to me, he's our only B potential prospect, and he's our best. All they do is give the best to Caden Dana, the starting pitcher, but he's got a C potential. So I look at Christian Moore as our best potential prospect here. As you can see him getting hit on his leg. This will be the only time that we were able to get on base here with him. So didn't have a great day hitting with him at least. But I do like his stance. It's pretty good. I do like the way that he's in the field. And I do see a path to him to the show. So we'll probably keep away from like second base when we're looking at scouting prospects and getting new people onto the team, as I think we're going to at least give him a year or two to show me that that's his spot to kind of take over. Of course, unless there's just a generational talent there that I just can't ignore. Now here we have a pop-up here by Bryce Teodosio. As that throw is going to go ahead and come in. It's going to be a sac flying to RBI to give us a 3-1 lead. As we're going to still take a look at the other guys here, AAA and AA, of course. Maybe even get in a game with these guys as the season ends. But we'll have to see if we want to get in a full game. If you guys want to see a full game with everybody, let me know down below. But there's definitely going to keep my eyes on some of those guys. But we more so care about the people we're bringing in. And the guys that are at the show right now. That could be longer term. Key fixes, key solutions to the team. And here in game 2 against the White Sox, I actually wanted to highlight another player. So after going through the full game yesterday, you see they now have these storylines, league news that you can go through, your farm reports to see what's kind of going on the league and how other players are doing and performing. So this would be definitely a good thing to look at, before the start of some games. But I definitely wanted to get in a start with what is one of our younger starting pitchers, but he has C potential. But he's actually very good. 80 overall, 26-year-old Jose Soriano. 80 hit per 9. The strikeout per 9 and walk per 9, or home run per 9, were both pretty high. Walk per 9 a little bit lacking, but we'll definitely see if we can get that. If we can get that to upgrade, as far as C potentials go, could easily be a 3 to 4, maybe even 5 guy in the rotation. But not everybody's going to have A potential in your starting rotation. Otherwise, the bracket or the payroll will get pretty expensive very, very quickly. So I want to get in and start with him to see how it feels to pitch with one of our young arms here. And he actually played fantastically here. A great way to throw the ball. Not a blazing fast four-seamer here as you see the ball go off the plates. But we're able to go ahead and make the play, recovering back at first base just in time. But he kept guys off balance pretty much all day. Kept the pitch count low. But I'm already noticing a difference here. And this is going to be the show than last year's, and even more so than the ones I grew up playing. Starting pitchers really do not have stamina anymore. I remember games like 100 pitches was the minimum that my starter was throwing out. Even if unless he gave it like 3-4 earned runs in a game, if he only gave it 1 or 2, he was going 90 to 100 pitches. Here now, I mean, shoot, you're lucky to get 70, 80 before you start to look at that bullpen. They start to throw a little sloppy. The control starts to go away a little bit, and yeah, I don't know if obviously that's intuitive to what it's like in real life, because I'm hearing that in real life too as well. Stars aren't going that deep into ball games. As I'm looking at the stats, watching my favorite team, the New York Yankees, and their pitchers, a lot of these games they're shutouts, but the starters going 5 innings, and it's the bullpen finishing things up. And it's like crazy to see the bullpens getting used so much more. There's almost no longevity from the starters anymore. Everybody's pitching like 5 innings a piece, if that. I'm pretty sure to get a quality start, unless they change it, you had to go at least 6 to get a quality start. At least that's what I thought. So, I mean, you won't see less quality starts unless they change that rule. But here in the show, I'm still going to try to force my pitchers to throw up, and I'm still going to be looking for starters when it comes to scouting that are going to reflect high stamina. I want guys that are going to go deep. I don't want to have to rely on my bullpen in 90% of my games to save me every time I'm my closer. Cool, come in, get me about 30 to 40 saves a season. That's what I need you for. Bullpen should be coming in if we're blowing a game, keeping the lead low. If we're absolutely tired there in the 7th or 8th, okay, let's get in a reliever to kind of keep them quiet. But I should not have you having to call in a reliever on inning 6, inning 5, especially of a shutout. So we'll look to see if we can get that kind of production in here today. Soriano had it. We have a 1-0 lead for him right here. And we go into the 4th as he gets the strikeout there to go to get out number 1. After a base hit allows a runner on first, we get Andrew Benintendi swinging as well. And then Andrew Vaughn, 1-2, pops the slider in the air. And that'll be 4 strong innings of work here. Up to this point, he's only giving up 2 hits, 1 walk, and had 5 strikeouts. As far as Davis Martin, he's got 5 innings of work for himself, gave up an earned run. And they actually went ahead and switched things up and got somebody else in the bullpen to go ahead and come out. This is what I'm talking about. So after the 5th inning, after the 5th inning of work, they went in and pulled me out. Now we still get the dub here, 5-1 hop. You see there with a 2-run home run, but 5 innings of work, and then it was straight bullpen for the rest. And I don't think the stamina was that bad. It was in the yellow, ending things out. But I mean, you could have stretched it a little bit. It's like as soon as they hit yellow, no, you're done. 5 innings, 2 hits, 8 strikeouts though for him, and a great start. You see, hitting wise, 10 hits as a team. Both Trout, Sawyer, and Hop all with 2 hit days, and so is Joe Adell. Hop getting 2 home runs actually here today. His first and second of the season, responsible for 3 RBIs out of the 5 that we got here. Nolan Schnell also stole him a base. He's also a young person that we want to look at. Him and Logan, both young players, just like Jose Serrano, that we can look into. Garrett McDaniels only got 2 outs. Ended up giving up an earned run there, so we went Ben Joyce. He finished it out. Then Jose Suarez pitched the last 2 innings. And this is something we're going to look at too when we do focus in on the pitcher heavy, is his pitch analysis. What are the pitches looking like? What is he throwing? And where are they going? And they break down a lot of different things for you. You got different pitch types. So you see all 5 pitches there. How many times he threw them? How many strike percentages? What did they hit off of him? They were 1 for 8 against his 4-seamer. We threw that 77% of the time for a strike, getting them to chase it outside. This is the sinker, of course, not necessarily just a 4-seamer. I don't know why it's listing as 4-seamer, but that's the sinker. The slurve here, instead of circle change, you see where that's at. The actual 4-seamer here, we only threw 6 of those all game, and then the splitter. So after that game, we ended up winning against the White Sox, sweeping the series against them 4-0 here. They don't show the box score to show me where the runs came in at, but another multi-hit day for Joe Adell, getting 2 for 4. Logan Hop ends up getting another home run, his 3rd of the season now this time around. And Reed Detmers getting the win. Once again, 5 innings. Bullpen kind of pitched the last 4, but at least we were able to get those holds in. Suarez, another 2 innings of work after yesterday. So, I mean, it's already pitched as much as most starting pitchers in 1 day in 2 days. We followed that up with a sweep of the Cardinals right after that, too, as well. As I told you, we're getting through these games quickly. Quick look here at the box score shows 12 hits as a squad, 3 by Nolan Schnell, our first baseman this time around. And let me know down below, how do I say that last name? I'm trying to say it quickly so it don't sound like I'm saying it wrong. Is it Schnanuel? Schnanuel. I'm trying to say like manual, but with the S at the beginning. That's the best way I can think to pronounce that name. Now here he had another 2 hits here today in the next game out. Got himself a home run as well as Jose Soler, and Jack Konanakowicz pitches 5 innings. Doesn't get the dub there, as we had to go ahead and let the bullpen do it. But you can tell here by the win late that we didn't get those last couple runs to the end. And same thing here with Hans Kroos. Didn't have a lead there early, but we did get some of those runs late as Mike Trout hits a home run there in today's game. Still wish they would just go ahead and just bring back that box score as we get another first loss of the season here as Ben Joyce blew the save late, gave up an earned run. We had plenty of chances there to win that game as the offense, once again, multi-hit days. We're just not getting it done. But it does lead to our first completed week of the season, and we'll be going into scouting, which week 1 here, we're setting our positional needs. First year around, I want to focus on starting pitching, left field, and third base. Those are our main focuses, just because I feel like the outfield is getting old. Infield, we have second base taken care of. Neto over at shortstop is not a bad option for at least a little bit, so third base is the only option left. And then starting pitcher, we got to get some arms here in the what do they call it? Farm system, because we have 0. So looking at our board, it looks like Henry Piera First ranked on our board, first ranked on the MLB board as a 19-year-old, 1 year in JUCO. Looks like the numbers could be pretty solid coming in on both contact and power and in the field. We have a shortstop there at number 2. A couple starting pitchers here at 3 and 4 is Oswaldo Velez, 21 years old, lefty, coming in a 3rd on the board. Really good at his walks per 9 coming into the league. So that's very intriguing to see the walks per 9 already in a good spot or coming in. See, a lot of starting pitchers going to be up at the top. As you know, it's a trend there at Central and the East, I think, or the West. The East. And then here at third base, not too much here. We have a couple central options. I'm looking for power when it comes mostly to third base. So Ziegler was very interesting there for us because he actually had power coming in and a future outdated power. So let's start off first with positional by position. So starting pitchers in the East, there's a couple there. We're going to go ahead and look at the first fielder that was number 1 on our board because we obviously have the second pick in this upcoming draft. So we got to make sure we nail it. So Henry Pereira, we'll be doing our homework on him, and as well as probably about like the first 5 or 6 picks on our board on the MLB board, just to make sure we have a wide range of data. So, and we're also doing discovery too to see if we can discover some new players. I'm trying to play around with that a little bit more, see if we actually find some hidden gems. So we're looking for some infielders out west because that was a position where I didn't see really too many prospects at all. So we come in here, we get into our first critical situation game. These are things that you can set up. You can put into what inning that you want to jump into the game. If you want to do it by player lock or full team. You know, the type of situation you want to be in, whether it's hard or not hard, but I forgot the actual setting names on it. But basically, it's like really, really clutch and critical, or just kind of anything you want to. And I'll show you the number of games on average that you'll play a season. Right now, I have mine set to pretty much, I think, as low as you can get, about 50 games-ish that you would actually jump into, because we're trying to get through it fast. So I want it to be the most clutch situations possible. Right now, we're down 5-4 with a runner at first base, facing off against one of the closing pitchers that I hate the most. And it's because that four-seamer is too fast and too good with the control, as Emmanuel Glass shuts us down here. They end up going out winning 5-4. Ben Joyce with the loss. They're only getting 1 out. Giving up 3 earned in that 7th inning. I mean, 6 hits as a team. We got to do better. But Trout was 5th home run. Joe Adell's 4th. As Trout's now up to 9 RBIs. And Kyle Hendricks, pretty good start. We just gave it up there. Ben Joyce once again doing it. This is the second time I've seen him blow something or lose something. Same thing with Jose Quijala here. As we go into the next one, we're playing the Rays here. We're down 3-2. So let's go ahead and jump in here and see if we can bounce this one back this time around. Avenge our loss. Top of the 9th, no outs. As Travis Darnt is up to bat. He's already 0 for 2 on the day, facing off against Edwin Uceda. Looking to dial in here. 0-1 is going to be chopped on the ground over to second base. The throw will come into the plate, and it will not be in time. Neto is able to slide in underneath the tag, and we have a tie ball game here in Tampa Bay. Great play here. They had the infield in and everything. That was hardly hit, but Zach Neto, just enough speed. I think it's probably the turnaround that did it. If he just gets it normally and throws it in, he might be okay. But we go ahead and go to our bench, bring in Mickey Moniak with this 74 speed. Is definitely an upgrade for our catcher. And we did have another catcher to come in and play some defense. So I went in and made that move to see if we can get him around with still no outs. Joe Adell will be at the plate now with a 1-1 count as we jump in here, stealing off for second base as he slides in there underneath the tag. And now a base hit could bring him around. Joe Adell getting it, looking at the cutter in on the hands, not wanting to offer at it. Gets a full count here, 3-2. Chop this one on the ground over to second base. Again making the play, but at least moves the runner up 90 feet. With only 1 out, we can easily take this lead back if Ryan Noda wants it. Swings and misses at the upstairs four-seam heat. He'll go sit down. Edwin trying to get out of this jam. Luis Refringo pops this one up on the hands. Their shortstop will go ahead and come in and glove this one with ease. And that'll end it, man. We were not able to walk it off. We were at least able to tie up the game here, so it dropped below my situation level. So we'll go ahead and let them finish out the game here. Bottom of the 9th, 2 outs, runners at first and second. Jensen, I don't know. Oh, there goes Makata RBI, Adela RBI. So we went ahead to get the dub here today too as well. So they answered with a run in the, well, we answered back with a run in the 10th. They answered back. Then we got another one in the 11th, but they did not answer back the second time. So 12 hits as a squad, 3 by Jorge Soler, 2 more by Joe Adell, getting his 5th home run of the season. And UC Kurichi, great start by him. As you see, we complete another week here. Cleveland, we lost. their series, swept the Rays, and now we've lost back-to-back against Houston here, including a 10-11 loss to the Astros. We come in to look, Henry, 77% scouted, has dropped back to 3 on our overall board, 80 to 95 in his potential range. Looks like the contact and power are going to be pretty okay. Getting to okay spots. Defense is going to be a little bit weak, but he is playing left field, so that's something to kind of look into as well. There's also some shortstops here. Sergio Sereno Ruiz. Looks like he's going to be a fantastic player, elite in some levels here. He's now number 1 on our board. So we definitely want to check him out to see what he can do here. We're getting about 45% scouted. Change up our discovery since we didn't find anybody in the infield in the West to the infield in the Central. And continue to let our starting pitchers cook. So we go ahead and go through another week of action. We at least take one against Houston so we don't get swept. Losing here to the Rangers with a tie game. We come back and win that game to avoid getting swept again. And then against the Giants, they take game 1, 7-3. And game 2, we bounce back 5-4. So we're kind of going back and forth. We had 45% on one of those scouting, so we're going to let it kind of continue and marinate just a little bit longer so we can get that fully scouting profile done. Lose the series to the Giants, come back and beat Pittsburgh. Tied up here with the Angels, but we do go ahead and take that first win as Trout comes back from his injury. Hendricks coming back from his injury, just a couple little day injuries. That's why we didn't cover them too deeply. But Sergio now at 95% scouted has dropped back to 3 on our board, so I feel pretty good with that. I mean, almost a complete profile here. Contact and power is going to come in at a decent spot. Get better except for power versus left. Vision's in an okay spot. Defense is good. Could be better. But now we've got our homework done on him. And our starting pitcher is completed. Oswaldo Velez. He's now number 1 on our board. 21 years old. 83 to 93 potential. 65 to 75 overall. Could come in pretty MLB ready. All the ratings, all his per nines are good. Control is good. Below 82 to 87. So near elite. 89 to 99 stamina. That's what I want to see right there. Good elite stamina. It looks like he can even be good in the field too with the arm strength. Two seam fastball at 97 miles per hour. Change up 12-6 slider splitter. So that's a pretty good mix. You got something to throw on the ground, a couple strikeout pitches, something to change up the speeds. Another 100% here for Alan Moser, starting pitcher. 5th on the MLB board, 9th on ours. Walks per nine is going to be an issue though. Starting out low and not going to get much better. 4-seam splitter, 2-seam slider. I think we're going to let that one kind of pass by. Basically a strong B potential here, but we'll be more MLB ready because he's going to be at 70 to 75. So he's probably going to come in at a low 70 and be pretty MLB ready. But we got more starting pitchers that we want to check out here. Bobby McDaniel has jumped up to 6 on our board. So instead of doing a wide range now, we're going to focus and lock in on him a little bit. Change up our fielding scout because I do have 1 scout for pitching, 1 scout for fielders. We'll change up our fielding scout here to look for the next best person here on the board that's not 100% that we can look at in the field. Of course, there's a center fielder, but we're not too focused on that. Pablo Vasquez, though, at third base is the spot we're looking at. He just doesn't have the power that I'm looking for from a third baseman. But I do remember somebody does. Yeah, we're going to go right back to Rick Ziegler, who actually does have the power that I want to have. And he's going to come in with power versus lefty and develop his power versus righty. So we're definitely going to take a look at him. He's up to 16 on our board and see what that kind of does for us here as we finish out the month of April. Finishing with a dub against Minnesota and 2 L's. Finishing at 18-11 through that first month around. Looks like we are in the West, kind of tied right there. A game and a half up here on the Red Sox. A game and a half behind the Mariners. We have now the second best batting average in the league, batting 283 in runs. We are actually currently sitting at 8th with 141 hits. 4th with 299. If you go look at home runs too as well, we're up there near the top half, tied for 4th with 44 of them things. RBIs, 8th with 140, kind of a little bit lower than I thought it would be. Stolen bases, tied for 5th, 31. So we're actually doing good in basically every offensive category. Power, contact, speed. How is our defense looking here? If we go to slugging position, we're 1st with 479. 5th and on base with 342. So we're getting on base. We're slugging great. Fielding, we're actually 29th though at 980. So the defense is a little bit lax. And then if we look at pitching with ERA, we're actually sitting 4th for 338. So the only thing that looks like we can improve on right now is defense. Now we do come back and get a loss, but 2 more wins here to go and get to 1 more scouting period. As Ziegler now has dropped all the way back to 30 on our board. Power's still there. Defense is okay, but has kind of slid back. Could possibly look at our second pick. But Bobby jumps up to 6 on our board at 100% scouted. Looks like his areas will just be basically everything but strikeout per 9. He'll come in ready to strike out, but everything else is going to need work, including his control. Break will be in a solid spot. Velo will be in a solid spot. Those are four-seam fastball. That's only topping out at 96 with a cutter behind it at 95. Could still look at that. Now we have Pereira here, and I have seen that if you don't get that 100% scouting, it can change drastically last minute. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up his profile at 77%. Just get him up to 100. Because even something like that last 5 really could be critical. And I think we'll actually see evidence of that here a little bit later. Of course, we have way more scouting that we need to do because this top pick I want to feel good about. You see we're picking at 2, 43, 80. And then everything else will be in the top, out of the top 100. We only have 6 picks this year, so no extra picks. As we're going to go Bruno Herrera here. Another starting pitcher to go ahead and look at. And this is another way we'll go through games right here. This is quick manage. So if you do something like this, you can control the swing, like basically what the players are doing without playing the game, and go through the game still pretty quickly. So as you can see here, we're just kind of going through the innings quickly here, at least the first beginning ones. 5 innings, everybody's probably pretty good. As it's going to the 5th inning here, everything is 0-0. The Tigers get the first run on the board, and Hendricks, look at that stamina already low. I want to try to at least get him to 6 innings. He's only giving up 1 run. First thing he does is allow a walk though to Gleyber Torres, a base hit then to Spencer Torkelson. So it's time to go ahead and get a pitching change and get him out of there. I might have even let him stay in a little bit too long. So I wanted to look at some of our possible options. A lot of our bullpen is a little bit tired, and you're gonna have to go multiple innings here. So looking at maybe Tim Anderson. He says starting pitcher by his name. I thought for a second he was in our rotation, but I see that those guys are down here at the bottom. So he's one of our long relievers. We're gonna bring in Tyler Anderson, and he comes in and gets things done. Fielder's choice. They're gonna get Jake Rogers on the base pass, but not allow the run to score, and then a double play, getting us out of there without giving up a run and giving time for our offense to still make something work here against Casey Mize, who for some reason his stamina is looking like brand new, while ours got ran through. Gave up a double there, but we're able to go ahead and get through the 7th cleanly. Bottom of the 7th, we finally get a runner on as Logan gets a base hit, but they're still able to get out of it. Only 4 hits on the day for our offense here. We're back up there hitting yet again. Adele getting the inning kicked off here. They're going to go with their pitching change, bringing Jason Foley here to pitch their last 2 innings. As Adele's able to get on, I'm going to have him steal second to get into scoring position. Zach Neto strikes out. Kevin Newman grounds out. And then Nolan base hit. We're going to hit the corners. And this is why it's going to be fun. You can actually jump into the game still, even when you're like that. So Mike Trout, 333 on the season, 1 for 3 on the day. 11 home runs, 21 RBIs already. Over 1,000 OPS already. Looking like he's back in that MVP type of form. This is why you don't know if you want to trade him or keep waiting for the growth to get there and look to replace him. I probably wouldn't replace him anyway until I had somebody ready to take over that spot. So he'll at least be on the team for at least the next year, 2, maybe even 3. His contract has been running for 8 more years, so we're good on time. We're good on time. As we have a 2-2 count here. Runners at the corners as he swings through the sinker upstairs. Not able to make even a little bit of contact. And we walk out of there getting shut out 1-0. Offense was just sleep all day. 7 hits is what we ended up finishing out with. A couple guys here with 2 with Logan and Nolan. But we're not able to string those hits together to bring across a run like they were. As Keith actually went 3 for 5 for them. Colt Keith. End up finishing things off here with 2 more wins, 2 more L's, and another dub. So we go win 3 of our last 5. Henry here jumps up to number 1 on our board now. I told you that last little bit of percentage could be clutch. 86-90 on his potential, 67-79 on his overall at 19, so wider range. Contact's there, power's there. The defense is lacking, but this is a strong prospect. This is a strong pick for number 1. I don't know who's going number 1 this year. I think it's the Marlins, but if they don't take him, here goes an option. But we do need another option because they could very well take him. And I don't want to be just left here with that. So we're going to still look for other guys here that can be on top of our board. We have a couple other starters here that can be there. Reed Gagnon. Looks like we can get him pretty well scouted here. So we'll kind of focus on that. Our Discovery actually picked up somebody here, Mike Owens, who ends up being non-ranked. So I was hoping he came at least a little bit onto the board so we could have a reason to scout him. But we're not going to focus on that. Pablo Vasquez instead at third base. We'll be going to take a look at it. 90% scouted and 100% scouted for Reed. We would get those guys done in just 1 week of work. And we're changing up our Discovery to outfield in the East, too, as well. From the outfield East, because that's where we found our 1 prospect, and obviously he was kind of no good. We're going to actually go ahead and change that up here. I don't know if going through the same thing again will just kind of rescout that person or just an indicator that we should stay in that region, but I'm going to change it to outfielders in the Central. We also saw a bunch of those, so maybe there's some more out there waiting for us to find that can actually crack our draft board. So if we're going to finalize that, man, and we'll stop there after 6 weeks of scouting. Next time we come back in, we'll be getting through the entire month of May, June, basically getting right up into the draft. Finishing out the rest of the scouting, getting right up to the draft, and we'll probably have the draft episode in the episode after, so that'll be episode 4. But we will have a lot more player locks next time out. I know we didn't have a whole bunch of gameplay in this one. A lot more, I guess you could say, scouting and team building and talking to you guys to kind of develop that footwork and foundation for the series. So hopefully you guys are rocking with it. Hopefully you guys like these episodes coming out and want more of the rebuild. And next time out, I promise, more gameplay. We'll still talk a lot too, and we will still focus on the scouting. But I will have more player lock games for you guys, and probably maybe a little bit more quick manage to get through the episodes a little quicker, or more critical situations to get through the episodes quicker. Maybe not quick manage yet, but catch you guys later. It's me, your boy SGG, aka the King of Games, aka GM Smooth. And Angels, actually, they look out 23-15. We ain't doing too bad this first year. Catch y'all later.